Have you ever sat down to a perfectly grilled plate of fish, seasoned just right with lemon and herbs, and wondered, is this really good for me? After all, fish is often hailed as a health food, and in many cases, that reputation is well-deserved. It's a lean source of protein and packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which are known to support heart and brain health, especially as we grow older. But here's something most people don't realize. Some of the most commonly eaten fish, yes, the ones many believe to be healthy, may actually pose serious risks to your health. Imagine this. What if certain types of fish were quietly affecting your memory, damaging your nervous system, or putting added strain on your heart? And all of this happening without any obvious symptoms until it's too late. The truth is, as we age, our bodies become less efficient at filtering out toxins, and certain fish, often marketed as premium or recommended by professionals, might not be as safe as you think. Even if you don't eat these fish daily, they might show up at a family barbecue, a church gathering, or your favorite local restaurant. But small exposures can build up, especially when your body becomes more sensitive with age. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. If you're over 60, or you're caring for someone who is, this information is vital for protecting long-term health. In today's video, we're diving into 6 types of fish that older adults should avoid under any circumstance. We want to hear from you. What part of today's video do you find the most eye-opening? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video, subscribe to Renew Diet, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. The advice we're sharing today isn't based on hearsay. It comes from real health research, clinical case studies, and quiet but consistent recommendations from leading nutritionists who urge seniors to steer clear of these foods. You might even have some of them in your fridge right now. Others are common menu items across the country. And number 4 on this list? It'll probably catch you off guard. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid and, more importantly, why. Plus, we'll share smarter, safer, and just as delicious alternatives so you don't have to sacrifice taste to stay healthy. Before we get started, I'd love to ask one simple question. If you're here because you care about your health or someone you love, leave a comment below that says, "I'm here." That simple comment, "I'm here," lets us know this message is reaching the right people. And if you haven't subscribed to Renew Diet yet, now is the perfect time. Every day, we share helpful insights designed to empower older adults with the tools they need to live longer, stronger, and more informed lives. Are you ready to continue? Let's begin with the first of 6 types of fish that deserve your attention, starting with one that's often praised for its rich flavor, but hides dangerous risks for aging bodies: king mackerel. Picture this. Your grandfather has always been the family's grill master. Every Sunday, he's out on the patio, expertly grilling thick, flavorful fillets of king mackerel. He swears by it, says it's good for the heart and the brain, and on the surface that seems true. Fish can absolutely be a smart choice when you pick the right kind. But over time, you begin to notice subtle changes in him. He's more tired than usual. He forgets little things, names, appointments, even where he left the remote. His hands sometimes shake as he lifts his morning coffee. At first, you chalk it up to aging. Isn't that just part of getting older? But what if it's not? What if the very food he thought was helping him was quietly harming him all along? Here's what you need to know. King mackerel is one of the highest mercury-containing fish available. Mercury is a toxic heavy metal, and while younger bodies are often better at handling exposure, our ability to filter out toxins declines with age. That means mercury can slowly build up, without symptoms, until it starts affecting your memory, your mood, your motor skills, and even your heart. For older adults, high mercury intake has been linked to memory loss, nerve damage, poor coordination, and even cardiovascular issues. And here's where many people get confused. King mackerel is not the same as Atlantic mackerel. They may sound similar and even look alike, but they're very different in terms of health impact. Atlantic mackerel is actually a much safer choice. It's low in mercury, high in nutrients, and can be a great part of a healthy diet for seniors. But king mackerel? It's a silent risk. No one really talks about it. You won't hear warnings at the seafood counter. But if it's sitting in your freezer or showing up on your plate regularly, it might be time to switch things up. That doesn't mean cutting fish out of your diet entirely. Not at all. There are much better options that offer the same flavor benefits without the health risks. Try wild-caught salmon or sardines instead. Both are packed with omega-3s, very low in mercury, and highly supportive of brain and heart health. They're safer, smarter, and more sustainable choices for your long-term wellness. Because at this point in life, our food choices go beyond taste. They become a way of protecting our future, one bite at a time. But mercury isn't the only concern lurking in your seafood. Some fish pose a completely different threat, one that weakens your immune system when you need it most. Let's move on to the second type of fish that older adults should avoid: tilefish. Now, this one is especially tricky, because in many cases, you may not even realize you're eating it. Imagine this. You're out at a nice restaurant, maybe celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, or just enjoying a well-deserved evening out. You glance at the menu and notice the white fish, or catch of the day. It sounds harmless, delicate, light, maybe grilled and topped with a lemon butter sauce. Sounds healthy, right? But here's the concern. That white fish could very well be tilefish. And for those over 60, tilefish is one of the worst seafood choices you can make. Let me explain why. Tilefish, especially those caught in the Gulf of Mexico, have some of the highest mercury levels of any fish. In fact, their mercury content often exceeds that of king mackerel. For older adults, this presents a real danger. Mercury isn't just a scary word from a health documentary. It's a real, measurable toxin. When it builds up in your body over time, it can start to interfere with your brain function. We're talking about memory loss, poor concentration, mood swings, and even symptoms that closely resemble dementia. Mercury toxicity can also cause numbness, confusion, and long-term neurological damage, symptoms that are often mistaken for normal aging. What makes tilefish even more deceptive is that it's often marketed as a gourmet item. It may come with a fancy name, a beautiful presentation, and a higher price tag. But don't be fooled. A higher cost doesn't mean it's better for your health. In this case, it's just the opposite. So when dining out, it's important to ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask your server what kind of whitefish is being served. You have every right to know what's on your plate. And if it turns out to be tilefish, politely decline. Instead, ask if they offer safer alternatives like cod or haddock. Both are gentle on the digestive system, low in mercury, and much better suited for supporting your brain and overall health as you age. Your body, and especially your mind, will thank you for making the smarter choice. To many, it feels like a luxurious indulgence. But what most don't realize is that this seemingly fine choice could be quietly harming long-term health. Here's why. Swordfish is one of the largest, longest-living predatory fish in the ocean. And because of that, it spends years absorbing mercury and other toxins from the food chain. By the time it makes it to your plate, that beautiful, savory fillet can carry some of the highest mercury levels found in any seafood. Now, remember, mercury doesn't just pass through your body and disappear. Especially for older adults, whose metabolism slows down with age, mercury tends to linger. It stores itself in key areas of the body: the kidneys, the brain, and the nervous system. That means the risk isn't just theoretical, it's real. Regular exposure to mercury can lead to nerve damage, memory problems, hand tremors, and cognitive decline. And if you or someone you love has a history of high blood pressure, kidney issues, or neurological concerns, swordfish could significantly worsen those conditions. Some people think that grilling or cooking it thoroughly will neutralize the mercury. But unfortunately, that's not how mercury works. You can't cook it out. You can't season it away. Mercury stays in the fish, whether it's raw, baked, seared, or flame grilled. So what can you eat instead if you enjoy bold, meaty fish with great flavor? You don't have to give up on taste. Try rainbow trout or pollock. These are safe, delicious alternatives with a mild flavor and flaky texture. They're easy to prepare, low in mercury, and high in heart-healthy fats. It's all about smart swaps, choosing foods that protect your health while still satisfying your appetite. Because at this point in life, food is more than just a pleasure. It's a form of protection. And speaking of risks, imagine if I told you that the next fish is one you've likely seen at sushi counters, seafood platters, or upscale buffets. It's elegant, it's popular, and it's a top pick for seafood lovers. But for older adults, it could be just as dangerous, if not more, than the last three. The fourth fish older adults should be cautious about is one that might surprise you: big-eye tuna, often labeled simply as ahi tuna. Sushi has become a dining experience that appeals to all ages, not just the younger crowd. You've likely seen friends, family members, or even yourself enjoying a fresh sushi platter. It's social, it's vibrant, and it carries a feeling of energy and health. At the center of that platter, a beautiful deep red slice of ahi tuna. But here's the truth: big-eye tuna may not be as healthy as it seems, especially for older adults. Let's break it down. Big-eye tuna, like swordfish, is a long-living predator near the top of the food chain. Because of this, it accumulates high levels of mercury over its lifetime. In fact, big-eye tuna is one of the highest mercury-containing species available, often rivaling swordfish in toxicity. But unlike swordfish, ahi tuna is often consumed raw. That adds another layer of concern: bacteria. When we're young and our immune systems are strong, our bodies can typically handle small amounts of bacteria from raw fish. But as we age, our immune defenses naturally weaken. That means even mild bacterial exposure can become a serious health issue. Raw tuna can harbor dangerous bacteria like salmonella, listeria, and various parasites. For older adults, these infections can last longer, be harder to treat, and even lead to severe complications. Now, imagine the combined risk: mercury exposure plus bacterial infection. That's a double threat your body may no longer be equipped to handle easily. Another important point: not all tuna is created equal. Many assume tuna on a label means it's safe, but that's not always true. Big-eye and albacore tuna, often used in high-end sushi and seared tuna steaks, both rank high on the mercury scale. While flavorful, they carry significant health risks. On the other hand, skipjack tuna, commonly sold as light canned tuna, is a much safer choice. It contains far less mercury, is more budget-friendly, and allows for easy portion control. So, here's what we recommend. If you or someone you care for enjoys tuna, stick with canned light tuna and limit it to 2 servings per week. And when possible, choose cooked preparations over raw. It's a simple change, but one that can drastically reduce hidden health risks and promote better long-term wellness. Now, let's shift our focus to a different type of seafood risk, one that may be lurking in your freezer or showing up in popular fried dishes without you even realizing it. Let's take a closer look at the 5th fish older adults should avoid: farmed salmon. This might come as a surprise. After all, salmon is widely seen as one of the healthiest foods you can eat. You walk into your local grocery store, and there it is. A beautiful pink fillet sitting front and center, often at a discounted price. It seems like a great deal, right? Rich in omega-3s, good for the heart. What could go wrong? But not all salmon is created equal. The truth is, farmed salmon, especially when sourced from regions with weak regulations, like parts of Southeast Asia or Chile, may contain far more than just protein and healthy fats. Let's break this down. Farmed salmon are raised in cramped underwater pens, with thousands of fish confined to small spaces. They're fed processed pellets made from low-quality ingredients, and because the conditions are so crowded and unsanitary, these fish are highly prone to disease and parasites. To keep them alive, farmers often resort to heavy antibiotic use. In some cases, chemical colorants are added to their feed, just to give their flesh that pink color. Otherwise, it would appear gray, completely unlike the wild salmon you're used to seeing. But here's the deeper concern. The feed and environment in which these fish are raised are often contaminated with industrial chemicals like PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, and dioxins, toxins that have been linked to cancer, hormonal imbalances, immune system damage, and serious inflammation. Now imagine what this means for an older body. For seniors who may already deal with arthritis, high blood pressure, or compromised immunity, consuming these chemicals regularly can worsen symptoms and strain an already vulnerable system. Despite these dangers, many people still assume salmon is salmon. They hear omega-3s and believe they're making a healthy choice. But in reality, farm-raised salmon may offer more risk than reward, especially if eaten regularly. So, what's the better option? Wild-caught Alaskan salmon. It comes from cleaner, colder waters. It's naturally rich in omega-3s, harvested sustainably, and free from the antibiotics, chemical colorants, and industrial toxins found in farmed fish. Yes, it may cost a bit more, but think of it as an investment in your health or the health of someone you love. When it comes to long-term well-being, quality matters far more than quantity. And now, we've reached the final fish on our list, a choice that may stir strong emotions in many seniors, especially those who've grown up enjoying it as part of cherished meals and traditions. The final fish on our list is more than just food. For many, it's a symbol of comfort, tradition, and memories. It's the scent that filled the kitchen on a quiet Sunday. It's the crispy bite that brought the family together. That fish is catfish. Picture this: your grandfather at the stove, masterfully frying a golden batch of catfish, just like he's done for decades. It's a ritual, a comfort, a taste that brings back childhood, laughter, and simpler times. But here's the truth we must face. Not all catfish is created equal, and imported catfish, in particular, may be quietly compromising his health. Here's why. Imported catfish, especially those from certain parts of Asia, are often raised in unregulated fish farms, environments with poor sanitation, questionable feed, and a heavy reliance on antibiotics. Many of these antibiotics are banned in the US because they've been linked to antibiotic resistance and long-term health problems. For older adults, this is a serious concern. A younger person might experience mild stomach discomfort from low-level bacterial exposure. But for a senior whose immune system is naturally weaker, that same exposure could lead to hospitalization or worse. The bacteria in these fish can be resistant to common treatments, posing a risk that few people realize until it's too late. So why do people continue to buy it? It's affordable, it's easy to find, and it's sold in bulk. But that lower price often hides a higher cost, a cost paid in well-being and resilience. If catfish is a cherished part of your meals, opt for US farmed catfish. American aquaculture standards are significantly stricter. Water quality is monitored, feed is controlled, and antibiotic use is tightly regulated. And regardless of origin, make sure it's thoroughly cooked. Proper preparation lowers the risk of harmful bacteria, especially for those with slower digestion or existing health conditions. Comfort food should provide comfort, not risk. Now that we've walked through all 6 types of fish older adults should avoid, take a moment to reflect. This isn't just about nutrients or toxins. It's about something deeper. It's about care, awareness, and the quiet power of choices made one meal at a time. Think of someone you love. Maybe it's your mother, who genuinely believes she's making a smart choice by buying salmon. Or your grandfather, who still enjoys his weekly fried fish from the local diner. They're doing what they believe is right, what they've always done. But sometimes, those small daily habits, those foods they've trusted for years, are now silently working against their health. You've likely noticed it. More fatigue, more forgetfulness, more frequent illnesses. At first, it seems like aging, but sometimes it's also what they're being served. These are the people who raised us, who sacrificed for us. And now, they're the ones who need our support the most. But here's the good news. This moment can be the turning point. This isn't about fear. It's not about blame. It's about empowerment and your strength. Now you're informed. You understand what to avoid. You know what to choose instead. You're equipped to gently guide your parents, your spouse, or even yourself towards smarter decisions. Without shame, without force, and with compassion. And that's what makes all the difference. It's wise to glance at the menu before placing an order, not out of fear, but from a place of respect and care. Because in our later years, this is what love looks like. It's reading a label. It's asking where the fish comes from. It's saying, maybe we try something different this week. And I want to be clear, you don't need to give up fish. You can still enjoy your favorites, but now with more intention. Choose wild caught. Choose low mercury options. Choose fish that protect your body, not strain it. Even small changes can spark noticeable improvements. Clearer thinking, stronger bones, a healthier heart, better sleep. Isn't that what we all want for ourselves? Isn't that what we want for the people we love? Let today be a quiet beginning. This evening, open your refrigerator, check the labels, reflect on what you've learned, then take just one step forward. Only one. Maybe it's swapping that big eye tuna for canned light tuna. Maybe it's replacing a discounted farmed salmon with a cleaner wild-caught alternative. Or maybe it's starting a conversation around the dinner table, a shared promise to choose wisely, together. Change doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. It begins with gentle, deliberate steps in the right direction. No matter your age, no matter your health history, you still hold power. Your choices still shape your health. Better decisions, better outcomes. Starting now, caring for yourself or someone you love is not just about medicine or appointments. It's about the quiet things, what's on your plate, what you know, and what you choose to do with that knowledge. And I assure you, these things matter. Let's quickly review. King mackerel is high in mercury, often mistaken as heart healthy. Tilefish is a hidden threat in restaurant meals, especially dangerous to the brain. Swordfish may look refined, but is full of long-stored toxins. Big eye tuna, whether raw or seared, carries risks from mercury and bacteria. Farmed salmon may contain industrial chemicals and antibiotics, and imported catfish, while affordable, is often raised in questionable environments and can carry harmful bacteria. Each of these may seem harmless, even beneficial at first glance, but for an aging body, each presents a real risk, from inflammation to mercury buildup to immune strain. Now I want to hear from you. Have you or someone in your family regularly eaten any of these without knowing the risks? Were any of these a staple in your home, like they were in mine for many years? Please share your experiences in the comments. I read each one, and I'd love to hear your questions, stories, or suggestions for safer alternatives. Let's learn from each other. Let's grow together. This isn't just a video. This is a community. If this helped you in even the smallest way, consider giving it a thumbs up. It tells the platform to share it with others who might need the same support. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Renew Diet. This channel is your daily resource for real, actionable guidance on aging well, thinking clearly, and caring for yourself and your loved ones with intention. We cover everything from nutrition to mental wellness to meaningful lifestyle choices every single day. Whether you're here for your own health or to support someone you love, you've found the right place. Before we go, I want to say thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being curious. Thank you for choosing knowledge over fear. You are the reason this message matters. Every thoughtful decision you make today creates a better tomorrow for you and the people who count on you. So keep choosing wisely. Stay committed to your health. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. From all of us here at Renew Diet, take care and stay well.